Welcome back again to Joe Stunner Boxing. You don't need me to tell you that when you put a Mexican and a Puerto Rican together, both undefeated, you're going to get some kind of explosion. And this is what we had. Two undefeateds on the undercard of the Berlanga-McCrory main event. This was in Orlando, Florida. And I'm talking about YANKIEL Rivera and Andy Dominquez. Rivera is Puerto Rican, Dominquez Mexican. Rivera is the big star. I think he's the one Matchroom are grooming for big things. Came in with I think it was four wins and 2 KOs, no draws, no defeats. And his last 2 fights were probably against decent opposition. He took on Christian Robles, who was 8-0 at the time, won an 8-round decision over him, and also knocked him down in the 4th round. Prior to that, he beat a guy with an 11-2-1 record called Fernando Diaz, another 8-round decision. He's an Olympian, was an Olympian, and like I say, he's being groomed for stardom. He's only 26, so he's coming into those prime years, but 5'3". We're talking flyweights here, by the way. And Andy Dominquez, far less decorated, you might say, coming in with a 10-0 record, 25 years old, so still young, 6 KOs in his 10 wins. He actually won a majority decision over a previously undefeated fighter in his last fight, a guy called Mohammed, I think it's called Al-Yilte or something. I didn't know the guy, but he had a 7-0-1 record. So they faced some half decent opposition, and Dominquez is based in Vegas, so he's used to fighting in America. It's not like he's one of these sort of hidden Mexicans who suddenly appears out of nowhere. And this was for the most part a one-sided beat up, not a beat down, a beat up. But it had real drama to it because the rounds were. From the word go, Rivera, he seemed to have all the skills and all the ability to just completely outbox and beat up Dominquez, which is kind of what he did for the first, or at least for most of the first 8 rounds. I mean, I gave the first 8 rounds to Rivera, and you're going to say, well, what were you doing a video on this for then if it's that one-sided? Because the action was great. I mean, Rivera was spinning and turning and really getting flashy in there. But I'll tell you this, Dominquez did not stop trying. And in the 9th round, he almost turned it round. It was a very, very dramatic 9th round where I was thinking, oh my God, is he going to turn this around and pull it off? Because suddenly the sheer work rate of the guy, I'm talking about Dominquez, actually both their work rates were through the roof, but whereas Rivera had been constantly popping him and toying with him, and he was having to fight at a really, really high pace, a great intensity. And in the 9th round, Dominquez clipped him and just let it all hang out. I mean, after taking a beating for 8 rounds, both his eyes swelling up, suddenly Rivera was in trouble. He was in trouble and he was flailing. And the crowd were going ballistic. Dominquez was flinging everything at Rivera, battering him from pillar to post. You thought that the upset, if it would be an upset, the great turnaround. This is one of the great come-from-behind victories. But somehow Rivera survived the round. And in the 10th, I actually gave him the 10th because I think probably what happened was Dominquez had thrown everything into that 9th round. He didn't stop coming forward in the 10th, don't get me wrong. And make sure you believe that Rivera was backing off. Believe me. Whereas before he'd been mixing fire with fire, and basically beating up Dominquez. In that 10th round, no. It was back foot stuff. It really was. But it was still exciting, really, really exciting. And I think all 3 judges had it like 99-91 for Rivera, which, you got to agree with. I mean, the commentators were saying, could you give a 10-8 round to Dominquez in the 8th? Yeah, I suppose you could. I didn't when I was watching it live, but you could have done. But there's no doubt who won. That was Rivera. But that does not tell the whole story. But it was like from about the 6th round onwards, the referee was looking at Dominquez in the corner and you're going to have to show me something now. You're going to have to do this. You're going to have to do that. I'm going to stop it. I'm not going to let you get beaten up anymore. Well, he did. And Dominguez had blood coming out of his mouth, and his eyes were both closed. One of them, I think the left one, was just about closed, but he just never ever stopped trying. You want to talk about Mexican spirit, Mexican toughness? Jesus Christ, this kid. He's only 25. He's got to come again. I mean, I want to see this guy fight again. As for Rivera, I know this is almost a cliche. I always say this on the channel, but he's going to be a better fighter for that 10 rounds, that 10 round firefight. Because even though he won, like I say, 9 of the rounds, in my opinion, and the judges' opinion, no, he had to work for every second. And both these guys actually are a fun addition to the flyweights. And because Rivera is with Matchroom, I think one of the commentators, it might have been Sergio Mora, said, what about putting him in with Sonny Edwards? Yeah, fine. I'll watch that. What about putting Dominguez in with Sonny Edwards? This was good stuff. This was good, a good, fun fight. And don't be put off by the fact that it was very, very one-sided on the scorecards, because there's a lot of action to admire in this fight and an awful lot of drama. Watch out for that 9th round, because you won't believe what you're watching. Anyway, leave your comments below if you saw this fight. If not, go and have a look at it. It's on DAZN. And yeah, thanks a lot for your time. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the subscribe button. It takes a second. And also the like button. Give us a like as well if you don't mind. Appreciate your time. Catch you later. Bye for now.